Hello and welcome to this installment of a Pokemon challenge. Today we will be using a Soul Pokemon again, and we will be continuing the trend of using the Larvitar evolution line by using the one and only Larvitar. Larvitar is pretty special in the fact that its whole evolution line have a different ability, so it's going to be useful to see what we can do. I've never actually utilised Larvitar's ability on this game before, so we'll see whether I can actually utilise it at all. We named the rival Pseudo because of obviously Tyranitar being a Pseudo legendary, and we also name our Larvitar Larvae, which is sort of similar to the trend we've followed in the last two, TT, Pupae and Larvae, but you know, we've done it for that reason. Anyway, before we get into it, if you do enjoy, please subscribe and even hit the like button, as it helps me out massively. And without further ado, let's get into the video. We used the Pokemon randomizer to replace Charmander with the Larvitar, just so that the rival has a very super effective Pokemon against us. I guess it could have worked with Venusaur too, but you know, we still do it for that reason. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be an easy run, but we'll do it nonetheless. We might, I don't know what level we're going to have to get to, but you know, we'll see. Anyway, we take on the rival for the first time. Whilst that battle's going on, we actually have completed a run of Pupitar and only Tyranitar as well. The difference between the few videos are immense. Oh my days, I can't believe it. Anyway, we finished the Squirtle. We don't really take any damage because it hasn't got any water moves, which is obviously a bonus for us in this fight. And we'll take on the rival again. We always tend to take on the rival again because we want the extra XP. We go for Leah. I mentioned it before. I've been doing this because I originally thought that Bite was a physical move, and obviously it isn't in this generation because of Dark types being special. But anyway, we get absolutely wrecked, mainly by the Pidgey of all Pokemon. Probably my own fault for using Leah constantly, but hopefully I realise my mistakes. Anyway, we're going to go battle the rival again and see if we can beat him this time. I think once we get to level 8 maybe we'd beat him, so we need to just beat this Pidgey and go from there. Let's see the difference in this fight. So already we get a sand attack off on us, and that is not great because we obviously miss. And look at that, we actually do worse in this fight when we use a few Leers. We managed to get Sandstorm, so I mean it's positive, but we almost instantly die against the Squirtle. We get the Sandstorm off, but again it was pointless. We knew we were going to die, so we'll try it one more time. Can we do it this time? Let me know if you think below. Anyway, we get straight away, we get a sand attack, but look how much damage Bite did that time. That was immense, the damage. It was so much better than before. And then we get a crit as well, so we survive with 14 health for the Squirtle. Squirtle's not doing a lot of damage with us, so we get Sandstorm off just in case we're missing constantly. We get our second Bite off, but we miss the third, and we get our fourth one off. It's nice and easy once we get him into red health, but it's a very close fight now. I've went for Sandstorm, which was just because it was a guaranteed hit, whereas Bite wasn't, and we finish him off. Might have been a crazy strat just in case he used a potion, but obviously he doesn't use potions in this second fight. Taking on Brock now, and oh, what a trainer, he's rock hard Brock. But luckily, because we've got a special move, Geodude and Onix do nothing to us, and we're going to take them out pretty easily. We get a crit on the Onix, which obviously helps, it saves us time, and we finish him off, thankfully. He doesn't use potions in this fight, he uses full heals, which is a bit annoying if you're using a fire type. But anyway, we go for the Dome Fossil. I like to mix it up, I go for either or, you know, keep you guessing, but we've got the Pidgeotto now of the rival before Misty. Now obviously, going for Misty right now would be an absolute joke because of our dual weakness to her, so we're not going to even bother with her. We will try the rival and see how it goes. Essentially, if we beat Squirtle, we should win, but we can't always say it's a guaranteed because we lost with Pupitar on the Rattata, didn't we? And it could actually turn out to do the same thing. I got lucky for the XP scenario that he used Abra next, so I got off a Sandstorm just so that it would do damage, but Rattata quick attacks me and it does the same thing. I assume that when you're in low health it will always do that, so yeah. Anyway, we try it again. We managed to learn Rock Slide for getting to level 22, which is obviously a clutch move. Look at the damage difference. That's a game changer, thankfully. But anyway, we use Rock Slide again on the Abra, and now it's Rattata with full health. Easy work, easy work. And we are going to take on the next rival fight, because like I said, Misty would be ridiculous right about now. And we do that so that we can level up Larvitar as best as we can. We have to get to this level because, as I say, we would absolutely get wrecked by Misty. We can't take on Lieutenant Surge until we beat Misty, so yeah, that's how the first fight goes. Not the best, but that's because we didn't heal up. We come back with full PP, which is obviously the right thing to do, and then we Rock Slide to Oblivion, and we beat both of his main ones. Cadabra is a bit of a tricky one because of its obvious decent special, but we do manage to outspeed and beat the Raticate too. And now this is the one we've been waiting for. Misty is obviously going to be a pain in this kind of run. We do manage to get a bite off, however, and then finally it is Starmie. Will we beat the Starmie with one shot? Oh, we survive on what, 5 health, and then we manage to kick her in the stars. She has got so unlucky there because it could have been a range, but we managed to beat her for the second badge. And obviously we will be taking on Lieutenant Surge next. Obviously with my typing, Lieutenant Surge shouldn't be too tricky, but we're about to find out how that fight goes. And we obviously will start with a Rock Slide. Oh no, we won't, we'll use a Dig instead. We got Dig obviously from the Rocket Grunt, and we just use that on the first one. On the second one, we do however get Static against us. We should have probably used Dig, but we would have had the same result. Will we beat the Raichu? We will indeed. Obviously Raichu is a very weak level on this, so yeah, we managed to beat Raichu, and there's the third gym badge. Nice and simples. Before we take on Erica, we will take on Giovanni. Again, Erica's a bit of a tricky one for a Larvitar. We don't heal up. We go into this match because we're confident with level 44. We are quite a substantial amount higher than him. And we go for a Dig on the Kangaskhan. I don't even need to tell you about the Onix because it was an easy fight. But the Kangaskhan is going to be a free shot, and he's going to possibly heal here. He doesn't heal, thankfully. And we get the crunch off and take down the Kangaskhan. This is for the win then against Giovanni. First time round. We crunch. It doesn't quite finish, but the second crunch will finish the Rhyhorn. And there's the Sylph Scope obtained. This time I don't forget to go get it like I did before. Pursuing the Lavender Tower now, and we get another battle with the rival. Now, he starts off with Pidgeotto, obviously starts off with that every time, and we get an insta miss with Rock Slide. Luckily Gust is not strong against us, and we managed to take it out in one. We know Rock Slide is good against War Turtle, so we use that and it does take it down. Luckily we level up in the match, so we are even stronger now for the Cadabra, for the Execute and for the Growlithe, so we should have no problems here. This battle is normally intended for you to take it on before you obviously take on Erica and Giovanni, but we took it on before we took on Erica because why not, but we took it on after we beat Giovanni. It's a bit of a weird one, that. Anyway, facing up against Erica, she is going to be the biggest pain. If we beat her, then brilliant. If we don't, well, then we're going to obviously struggle for the rest of the run. Now, I don't know why, I've actually updated the badges a bit earlier than it should be on the actual stream, but, you know, we'll, I'm contemplating as to why I have actually done that. This one is our 4th badge, but we beat her with a Rock Slide. We beat her again with a Rock Slide. We beat her again with a Rock Slide, maybe? Oh, boom! We do. We absolutely defeat her with ease, thankfully. I don't think we would have survived any longer if we didn't. Anyway, Larvitar versus Pidgeot. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? It's Pidgeot, not Pidgeotto. We do smash the Pidgeotto. Oh, I said it again. Pidgeot. And we get absolutely smashed by Water Gun. That would be because we got it into torrent range. Now, whilst I was doing this, I didn't actually realise why we were losing. I forgot all about Blastoise's ability. We then eventually we use a Rock Slide and don't get it into range for the torrent, and then we finish it off with an Earthquake. A bit more strategic there. We were always going to get hit by that move, but again, a bit more strategic. Oh, Execute, obviously easy to take down, and so is the Alakazam with a double crunch. It went for a second Future Sight, which was stupid, and now Growlithe is down. Probably could have lost that towards the end if Alakazam had have attacked us, but thankfully it didn't, and I'm not complaining. Right, we've got our friend Giovanni, Don Giovanni, who is very pointless. We managed to beat him. We managed to beat his not quite. We managed to beat 2 of his Pokemon immediately. Somehow Crunch does not finish off the Kangaskhan, and obviously that crit really mattered. But we've got Rhyhorn now, who should get easily one shot by Earthquake, and he does, which is good. But we knew it was going to happen. Giovanni has been defeated, and it is Sabrina's time to be defeated. We have Crunch, obviously, but we are more of a physical attacker, so we will use Thrash, and we do take out her first 2, but we get confused, which is not good. But we do snap out after we hurt ourselves, and then we take out the amazing Venomoth and also the Alakazam, and then someone triggers Star Wars song. So thank you for triggering that. That really does change the mood a little bit. But oh well, it happens, doesn't it? Koga next, and we are about to take him. Because we know Earthquake, Muck won't be a pain, but the rest of them should be a bit tricky. But we'll see. We are level 58, so let's be honest, it won't be that difficult. And we beat Coughing immediately. Earthquake does get a crit, so that probably might have mattered, it might not have. Coughing, again tricky, but we managed to beat him. And we miss on the Wheezing. And again, at the same time as last time, when we were against the final Pokemon, we get Dobby's Death Threats, which, if you haven't watched Harry Potter, is when he says, Dobby's used to death threats, sir. For the 6th badge, we managed to claim anyway. But enough on the death threats. It is time for us to threat the Fire Gym quite easily. We should win this, but we go for a Rock Slide because we know he will Potion if not, and then we go for a super effective Earthquake. We might as well go for that on the rest of her team too. Sorry, his team. I don't know why I called that blame her, but you know, I guess I did on accident. And we claim our 7th gym badge. We're doing reasonably well. It took a lot longer in some instances than I would like to admit, but now it's time for the last badge. Rhyhorn, never going to be a problem. Nidoqueen, never going to be a problem. Nidoking, never going to be a problem. You know what I'm going to say with Rhyhorn, never going to be a problem. And finally, Dugtrio. It does get an Earthquake on us, but it's never going to be a problem. And we get the 8th gym badge. We have done reasonably well with just a Larvitar. I know we're somewhat over-leveled in some regards, but we're not much over-leveled. But believe me, you talk about over-leveled, I can't get any lower than this, I promise you that. Right, finally we take on the rival before the Elite Four, and it's not going to be an easy one. Look at this, we use Earthquake for the torrent reason, but he absolutely owns us. I don't know why he outspeeds us, and I think we're going to need to use put the leftovers on here. The leftovers might not actually help us, but you know, we put it on nonetheless and go from there. Let's see if that helps. It might not, and if not, we might have to start training. Anyway, Rock Slide, always a one shot. Earthquake does a bit more damage, and obviously doesn't put it in torrent range. Thankfully, we actually do finish the Blastoise there. Crunch, and bye-bye. Execute. Can we defeat the Growlithe? We can. Thankfully it's not an Arcanine, so it's quite easy to beat. And we have managed to grab quite a lot of health from all of this. We do get an absolutely smashing Psychic. Calm Mind, Psychic, boom. If we didn't miss the first Rock Slide, we might have killed it, but I don't think we would have. Anyway, we come back to this fight again with the leftovers. We don't need it for the first fight, but we will need it for the Blastoise. And we take it out with 2 Earthquakes. Easy peasy. Execute gets eaten. Absolutely eaten there. And so does Growlithe, but he gets trapped under the rocks instead. Alakazam, it's a bit of a tricky one. Crunch doesn't do enough damage, and we could actually get beaten here by a Psychic. He uses a Future Sight though, and doesn't kill us. Sometimes the AI can be a bit silly, but thankfully it benefits me, and we beat Pseudo for the time being. Anyway, it is time. The Elite Four is not going to be easy, as we've seen with our Pupitar, and maybe also with our Tyranitar. But anyway, we Rock Slide Dugong, and Dugong goes down pretty swimmingly. But it's the rest of the team I'm worried about. I'm worried about the Lapras. I'm worried about Cloyster surviving a hit. I really am worried. Thankfully though, I got very lucky here because Cloyster did survive the hit, but it only used Spikes. Obviously on a solo run, very ineffective. Jinx, easy. I will always one-shot Jinx, but it's whether the Lapras does, and it does flinch though, which is obviously clutch. We would need to obviously level up to one-shot it. And now it's the Slowbro. Slowbro's defense is really good, so why I used Thrash I will never know, and we go down. Taking on Lorelei again, and we do get a crit, which is obviously useful. It's always good for the XP. We come back at level 82 anyway, because we need the extra levels. Oh my goodness, how Cloyster survives is beyond me. But again, Jinx is going to be a one shot, so that's all good. It's just whether we actually defeat Lapras now. Do we come back at a stronger level? And we can. It probably might be a range, but it's positive nonetheless. Slowbro gets flinched, which is good, and Crunch takes it out. It's the first time we've beaten her, and it took a while. But now it's time for Bruno. He might be tricky, he might not. Sky Uppercut from Hitmonchan. I'm not looking forward to that. But anyway, Bruno decides to send out Onix first, as he always does, and he gets swept with Earthquake. Will his second one? Well, absolutely. It would be a big shock if it didn't. Will his third Hitmonchan? It will. What about his fourth? Hitmonlee does as well. It's just whether Machamp will now. And we don't get lucky, and it one-shots us. I was devastated. We come back to Bruno anyway, and we see if we can actually beat him. Lorelei is a bit more consistent now that we've leveled up a bit more, but Bruno on the other hand, oh goodness, he's a tricky one with that Machamp. We come back 2 levels stronger, and we see whether Machamp will one-shot us. This is the moment of truth. He doesn't. We survive on 10 health. Citrus Berry stops us from losing that, I reckon. I mean, it probably doesn't because we outsped him, but we managed to beat him for the first time. And now it's Agatha. My word, I was a bit shocked that Crunch didn't kill it, but we got a crit on the second time. We do not have Shed Skin, so we are not going to be able to heal this poison. We need to take him out as quickly as possible. So far, it's going alright. It's just Haunter and the Gengar left. Gengar is on his own now. It's just whether we one-shot the Gengar, and we get Shadow Balled. That poison changed the game. Let's see if we get poisoned this time. If we don't, I think we might win straight away. And Double Team is not very effective because we kill it anyway. You may have noticed I didn't get poisoned, so hopefully that's a good omen for us to win this actual fight. And we beat the Golbat, we beat the Haunter, we will always beat the Haunter, but it's now whether we beat the Gengar. Are we strong enough to one-shot it? But no, we're not, but it puts us to sleep. And we're not in a good position right now. We are not waking up. We're in a nightmare, but thankfully we wake up as soon as the nightmare starts, and we beat the Gengar. Could have went a lot worse there, but thankfully we woke up just in the nick of time. And this is it. We beat Lance. We're ready for the final battle. Lance is not going to be that bad with our team. We obviously have a very strong Rock Slide against him, so let's hope for the best. Anyway, as expected, Lance starts with Gyarados, who does decent damage to us, but, well, it's only 40 and we obviously recover some anyway. Crunch gets a critical hit, but look how weak Crunch is against the Gyarados. I should have used an Ether, but I didn't. Anyway, we use Earthquake on the Dragonair, and it's so close to one-shotting it, but it doesn't. I am very worried about the next Dragonair paralysing me. It uses Safeguard, doesn't paralyse me, but watch this for a bad scenario. We are in such a bad scenario right now. We get triple confusion, and oh man, I was so annoyed at that point. It's just my luck, but we get rid of Thrash, we teach Return. It is obviously going to be better now because we have pretty much maxed out Friendship, so we use that. Plus we don't want to be confused again for our own accord. Anyway, Rock Slide on the Gyarados. We come in at level 90 now. Leveling up through the Elite Four is the best way for me to actually level up now that I can consistently beat people. We beat the Gyarados, we don't beat the Dragonite. I don't know why we didn't use Earthquake, I really don't. I think we're doing it because of the flinch possibilities, but we needed to save Rock Slide, and we did have enough Rock Slide for Dragonite, which is good, but we needed to make sure that we had it for the Aerodactyl too. It should one-shot the Aerodactyl, and it does, thankfully. And we beat Lance for the first time. It could have been better in some instances, but we managed to get to Pseudo. And can we beat Pseudo, or will we lose against Pseudo? Well, we obviously are very near the end of the video, so you might know what the answer is, but we one-shot our friend Pidgeot. We one-shot the Rhydon. We do not one-shot the Blastoise, but he Hydro Pumps me, and oh, the only way we win this fight is if his Hydro Pumps miss us. That is essentially the only way we win. So let's see if we can actually get lucky and have our Hydro Pumps do that. We are not doing amazing damage with Earthquake anyway, so we're doing that so it doesn't get into the range for Torrent. But like I say, Hydro Pump keeps missing or keeps hitting, and it just doesn't mean we're going to win, I'm afraid. That's the thing that's stopping us here. Can we do it at level 90 still? Well, we beat the obvious two. These two are easy, so there's no point in really talking about these two. What about you? Do we get a miss? And we do, thankfully. Let's see, can we get lucky on these last few? We get a Crunch off, but Giga Drain one-shots us. Oh my goodness. I know it's 4 times effective, but still, I have to be dramatic here because that was unexpected, to say the least. At that point, I'm like, right, we're not tanking a Giga Drain. We need to be level 100. So we come in at level 100. Probably, again, could have been a different level. Could have been a slightly lower, but I just had to do it. I had to chance it at level 100. And we get a flinch on Blastoise. We have not taken any damage here. Can we get a flinch here? We do on Executor. We are in for the money right now. 2 Pokemon, full health, and almost all of our moves. Psychic does a lot of damage, but Return defeats him. And now it's just whether we can finish with an Earthquake or not. And we missed the first 2 Earthquakes. Somehow we get burnt. And thankfully, with the combination of Burns and Intimidate, we still beat the rival. You cannot believe how over the moon I was. But again, I could have probably done it at like level 95, but nothing lower than 90. Oh my goodness, that Executor would have always wrecked me. Oh, I'm a bit tired now, but if you did enjoy the video, please give a subscribe, give a like, leave a comment about what Pokemon I should do next, what evolution chain I should do next. Please do me a favour, check up on someone. You never know, you could be the difference that saves a life. I know it's getting a bit deep there, but you really could. Just talking to someone could make an absolute massive amount of difference. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.